Hi, welcome to Tarot Time and happy equinox. We are at that time, that still point, that point of perfect balance between extremes, between light and dark, between opposites. And in this point of perfect balance, that's when we can transcend the physical or the duality and blend more with spirit or more with source. So, welcome. And we're going to get started in just a minute. If you're watching this as a video, I just give the live people a minute or two to get their notifications and to get on and take it from there. So I want to firstly, for the live people, make sure that you hear me okay, because my microphone decided to stop working this morning for some unknown reason. And so I'm using the built-in microphone on my computer, but I think that you guys can hear me okay. I've done it this way before. So, hey, Chris, Judy, Lisa, Colleen, Millie, welcome. Josh and Blindly Inspired, welcome. Jody, hi. Judy, did I say Judy already? All right. Okay. Hi, Vivian or Vivian, and Michael. All right. So it's a nice morning. Notice I'm in my fall clothes here because it's a little chilly out, and I sound perfect, loud and clear. That's good to hear. So we made it into another season, and we begin Libra season today. So this is good. TT Tractor, welcome. 5x5 sound is great. Okay, hey Care or Carrie. Hi. All right, what was I gonna say? Well, it's the equinox. We know that. um, and yeah, I just had a big event yesterday, a big reading event, mediumship event. So I rolled in around midnight, got to bed at 3, and I bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today. So here we go. There's a couple of things. Oh, we're gonna do mediumship tonight on the Medium channel. That we do that 8 times a year to correspond with the Celtic Sabbath. So it's Mabon, as well as the equinox, autumnal equinox here in the northern hemisphere, spring equinox in the south. So we're going to do that. And Tuesday morning, Tuesday's my birthday, so another spin around the wheel. So I'm going to do a guided process with you guys. We'll call on the master teachers, and the idea is we're going to create a peace wave because that was one of my psychic. Well, this isn't the reason, but I'm being a little bit silly, but but that's part of my psychic forecast. It's in late September into October. There's going to be this wave of peace. It's going to start to circulate the planet. So I figure let's make this self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So I'm going to come on at 10 a.m. Eastern time, Tuesday morning, the 24th. We'll stay on for a half hour or so, and then at 10:33, you can flip over to Mr. Floyd's Universe channel for his morning. He does a channeling every morning at 10:33 at Eastern time. So you can flip over to that when we're done with the peace wave meditation. So we're gonna join our energies together, expand in love, expand in the heart, take advantage of this beautiful equinox energy, and send this wave of peace into the collective. And a lot of others are doing this. So together we'll make a difference. As the Peter Gabriel song goes about Stephen Biko, the fallen apartheid activist who died in 1977, in September of 77, as the song goes. But the line is, you can blow out a candle, but you can't blow out a fire. Once the flames begin to catch, the wind will blow it higher. And basically just says that individually we're a small flame, but together we're a big bonfire. And the forces that favor war and favor all the struggles of humanity so they can maintain control, they're not going to be able to stop it. So we're going to do that Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So on Tuesday, yeah, and you're Mr. Floyd's Universe. You're on Tuesday at I think you come on at 10:33. So depending on where I'm at, I may have to run. Well, I don't have to run. It's my birthday, but I may cut out early. But I may come and visit you guys on Mr. Floyd's channel also at 10:30. Depends, because I want to go out hiking and I want to get a full day in. So anyhow, are we ready to do some tarot? We've got again, it's a big time, a big wave of ascension is happening. As I'm talking about it, I'm in my mind, I'm seeing like people meeting from different countries, like at the UN, maybe, or another organization. But I think there's going to be a lot behind the scenes that are going to go on the next 2 weeks, actually. To try to help out and get a handle on what's going on in the world and the escalation of tension, we'll put it that way, and aggression is going on in the planet. We hear about 10 or 15% of it. We don't hear most of it, but it's going on much more than what we would realize, and in more areas also. And the other thing is that we're coming up to that election. Each presidential election gets more and more ugly. It's going to get, I don't want to say ugly. What's a better word? Dicey. But whatever the case, don't buy into that polarity. Remember, we're the heart, we're the center, we're the eye of the storm. We're not the right, we're not the left. We're the center of balance. It's the equinox. So let's not go into dualistic fighting, put it that way. So let's see what else is happening. Then they're showing me coins, gold coins. So it might be a good time to look into what investments you want to make. Precious metals are well, as Michael Marr aptly pointed out, it's not really an investment, but still it's value that you can have and hold if you have precious metals. And that's the standard that wealth's based on. So the fluctuation of currencies, it all it may change the value of the metals, but that's only from the perspective of the currency itself. The value of gold doesn't change, basically. So anyhow, to show me that, so to me it feels like there's enough energy of those that want things to get better, basically, to start to undermine some of these plans like Project 2025, and I don't know what the name of it, but I'll call it Project 2030, when they want the powers that be, you want to call them the deep state or whatever, want certain systems in place to be able to maintain and even strengthen the control and to dictate the direction that society moves. But what we're seeing is more and more of a split for those that don't want to necessarily go too deep into the technology, the point of interfacing and adhering to these corrupt systems that are going on that is being exploited through technology and other means. So there's a lot of people that want to kind of pull away from that and continue to develop their spirituality more from the human perspective, and embrace technology as the gift and the part of the human awakening that it is. It's a good thing. It's like any other tool; it can be used or misused. So it's all about how it's used, basically. So on that note, what are you guys saying? So the UN agenda for a sustainable planet by 2030. Well, that sounds like a good agenda. I've heard other sides of that. I'll put it that way. And also depends on what their definition of sustainable planet is. Sustainable, basically, like humans can sustain, like for example, we have the resources, the land, everything that we need to feed this planet 10 times over. Is that what they mean by sustainable? That they're going to end world hunger? Because it can happen. It may take a few years to set things up in different countries and third world countries and stuff like that, but it can definitely happen. We have the ability to do that. To me, that's what sustainable is. I don't know about their idea, but that said, I like the sound of that. Regardless, it feels like there's, like I was saying, I think there's enough people. More and more people are waking up that it's tipping that balance to more into the spiritual awakening rather than the suppression of the awakening. And with that comes the desire for reform and to create more of a global unity, basically. I mean, there'll still be countries and borders, but they can be softened, and there can be more of a global community and a global, I don't want to say government, but structure of leadership that's more about fairness to the people rather than a small percentage of people having power over everybody. Yeah. And what are you saying? So I'm glad you guys are keeping up. I don't have time to keep up. The UN is using solar cycles as climate emergency. Okay, that they are. The solar cycles are 11 years. All people have to do is think back. It was about 22 years, about 20 years ago that we had the most amazing Northern Light show here in the Catskills. It wasn't the real colorful kind. It was more like white with some greens, but it went all the way from the north all the way to the south. That must have been although it was sustained all night, so I suspected that was from a coronal mass ejection rather than a solar flare. Because the flares, they flare out of the sun. They take on average 4 to 10 minutes to reach the Earth. They burn it, in for a few hours, and they burn out unless there's another solar flare. But the CMEs, I'm this is just conjecture because I don't know for sure. But anyway, let's do some tarot. I want to just peek at your comments again. So there's the whole thing. Yeah, I want to just sort of revisit that climate emergency thing, because I'm a meteorology major. I graduated in 1980. We didn't call it a thesis, but my paper was on global warming in the 1970s. The information was already out there. Everybody knew, well, not everybody, but everybody should have known about it. There were different models from different climatologists, scientists saying, we keep burning the fossil fuels, the increase in methane. This is what's likely to happen on the planet. Now, a lot of these models take into account the natural warming of the planet also. It's not all man-made. What's happening with the fossil fuels and the spike of global warming, it's just that. It's just a spike. If things, if we kind of evened out and reduced some of the emissions, within 10, 20 years, the Earth everything would be back in balance. So I believe global warming. Well, I know it's real, but I believe there's a human element to it. But I also believe it's very much exploited. Yeah, we should stop burning things for a lot of reasons. But anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves. So what are you saying? Spot for gold is an all-time high announced. It is wealth. It is savings. Tier 1 asset that will not bankrupt or default. Thank you for that. Yeah. So I have some silver. I don't have any gold. I wish I had the not the money, because you can always, if you want something bad enough, you can always manifest the money, but just the desire when it was under 2,000 to buy up a little bit. But anyway, tarot, right? So let's do our meditation card for the week. Again, we're leading off into the fall season, or the spring if you're down under, and we're right on the world axis now. That's 0 degrees of the cardinal signs in astrology is called the world axis. Also, 15 degrees of the fixed signs is I don't know if that's called the world axis also, or if there's another name, but 15 degrees of the fixed signs is kind of like that in-between point between the solstices and the equinoxes. And so there's 8 points in the year, and the Celtic wheel, or which neo-pagans and people that practice Wicca study and adhere to and practice. That we have 8 Sabbats basically, and Mabon or the equinox is one of them. Then the next one is going to be not Beltane, Samhain on October 31st, or Halloween. But astrological Samhain is right around November 6th, basically. That's when you're right at the midpoint of Scorpio. Scorpio is a fixed sign, so that's when you're right at 15 degrees. Just a little astrology / Celtic lore. But we always do a mediumship here on the channel. It's free, of course. I mean, we usually get about 60 to 100 people in, so obviously I don't get messages for everybody, but if you come in at 7 o'clock tonight, you may just get a message from your loved ones on the other side. All right. So with the meditation card, like any other meditation, you get present and open, and then you just, in your mind, step into whatever card we pick for the week. And then when you step into the card, as soon as you step in your mind, obviously, I don't think you would actually fit in one of these cards physically, but you step in with your mind. As soon as you step in, what do you feel? That's your first and best gauge of energy. Just what do you feel? What did your emotions feel like? Your energy, even your body. You may get sensations, or you may be drawn to a different part of your body. So then once you're in the card, see what message did you get, what beings you meet, that kind of a thing. Let me just clear my mind a second, because I'm talking a mile a minute this morning. Okay, found my card, or your card, our card. I like this one. It's very youthful energy, the Page of Wands or Rods. So this is the Morgan Greer deck. If you have your own tarot card, pull your card. If not, take the mental snapshot. So when you're very relaxed, present, and open, you step in, and you step into the scene, and then this is just the doorway. So there's a whole panoramic view, and there may be other beings besides this Page of Wands, but that could be one of your guides, or a guide that's working with you. Often the pages are about messages or news or stuff like that, and wands are about energy, fire. Pages are earth energy, so it's like fire of earth, or earth of fire. So it kind of comes into these two elements, and in the desert, I can see that also. So there's that, and the dawning. Hi, Lakeside, welcome. So there's that card. So I'll give you another second or so. Okay. All right. So that's how it. Any questions? Not that I could hear. Maybe I could telepathically hear you. That's good. Somebody had a question about timing. Okay, so whatever you want. Sometimes 10, 15 minutes is plenty of time to do this kind of a meditation, and to see if you can meet your guides or your animal totems, or just what you feel or what messages that you get. And what I'm going to say also is you can ask what your next step is on your path. We're coming to a new vibration. Oh, it's always changing anyway, but we're coming into a new vibration, a new season. What nuts do you need to gather for the winter? What plans to make? But it's so there's an action energy with that. What earthly actions, because it's fire of earth. So it's your passion, and then you can ask or acknowledge what your passion is. It may be spirituality or metaphysics. You may have a business idea, something you really want to do, and when you step in, you can ask, how do I manifest that in the earth? What steps do I need to take? What other meditations do I need to use? Things of that nature, basically. So next on the agenda is doing our 3-card spread for the week that may tap into things going on in your life personally. It may tap into just things going on around the world, in our community, your community, various communities. Well, I'm thinking about it. Like you said, we talked about Mr. Floyd's universe before. If you haven't checked out that channel, he does some beautiful channeling work on the channel formerly known as Mr. Floyd Channeling, which is now Mr. Floyd's Universe. So Saint Germain, Archangel Raphael, and he's been working with other beings also as of late. You check that out. You check out Lakeside. Laura has a YouTube channel. Millie, the Prita has a channel. All on the chat. Children's School of Yoga, who's not physically here because she's we can send her and her mom a lot of prayers. She's a valued community member also. That's Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. So she's having to tend to what she needs to tend to right now. But she has a YouTube channel. Who else? Jared of Who the Channel does a lot of Vedic work. Chants fire homas on the new and full moons, except the eclipses. So the next new moon is going to be an eclipse also. And so let me just flash that so they know. And Sekhmet too. So we've done. So that's Isis and Sekhmet. I don't, unless I'm not conscious of it, I don't think I've channeled Isis, but we've definitely gotten Sekhmet through, about 3 separate times around the Lionsgate portal, and those were powerful for me as the channel with Sekhmet coming through. Those were very powerful channels. So I don't know how you felt about it, Josh. Anyone here? Let's see. This is probably informative. If you're considering getting some of your savings out of the bank and converted to gold and silver, now's the time. With the FED cutting rates by 0.5%. Oh, good. See, they actually exceeded my expectations, which is good, because part of my psychic forecast and channel messages for autumn was that they would cut the rates, but people would be disappointed by that. But I thought they were only going to cut it a quarter. They cut it 0.5%. I like when that happens, so they exceeded my expectations. So that could have a nice effect on the economy. As I'm talking, I feel like they're saying, well, there's certain things. Some prices are coming down, gas prices, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. So you can expect the market to still be pretty volatile for a while. From what I understand, the market was up for a little while. It bounced back, and Bitcoin will continue to go up in value, go to reach a new plateau, will become even more expensive to own. So thanks for the heads up with that. Those of you that are interested in investing. So hi Kiss 606. We're going to let's send Laura. Adam and Darlene, lots of love. I guess that's a different Adam, unless you're sending me lots of love, and I like that. Oh, Doreen. Okay. Sending Doreen lots of love. Yeah. Thank you for that. All right. Very good. Hi, Ella. And welcome. I believe the name's Elaine, but in any event, see you and Doreen. Thank you. So, back to 3 cards. I got tons of divination cards, so let's pick up the pace. Well, only 23 minutes in. I think we can get this all done in an hour. I'm just looking at your comment. Have a good time camping, Felician. Welcome. Sending Sedona. Thanks for sending Sedona our way, Lane. We appreciate you. I'm fumble fingers sometimes. All right, I don't have to flash that comment. It will lower the purchasing power of the fiat and raise inflation. Okay. And fiat dollar is US dollar. Thanks for that. He's out. Thank you, Claire. He's out of the hospital. He kind of like saying, "Well, I dodged another bullet." He's almost died 3 times now, and I keep sending him energy healing, and he's open and receptive enough, and it's coming through me strong enough that I do that, and he gets better. So, I mean, he's an amazing story. If you knew my brother and all that he has to deal with, he's 60 now, and he's just kind of like dealing with things, but we were able to work with him for him to avoid going on dialysis, which was huge. So that was a big positive development. So thank you. With Tony, it can go up and down. He does his own healing work also, so he kind of, he's very spiritual in his own way, and actually very good with tarot and psychic work himself. So he's understands, and he's trying to do his work also. But thanks for asking. Let me see. What other comments can I read before I go on? Saddle up your horse, Felicia. Yeah, hit that trail. Have a great time. Yes, yes. I'll get outside for a little while. I've got lots of work to do today. And tonight, 7, I'll say this at the end also, 7 o'clock tonight, mediumship readings on the Medium channel, Eastern time. Okay, clearing mind, 3 card spread. Who's ever buying a car or looking at cars, good luck. They just pop the image of a car in my mind. That could also be a symbol of taking care of our bodies too, because cars can represent the body as well. So I think that's a message for all of us, that there may be. I mean, there's a lot of solar flare activity on and off. We're nearing the peak of that 11-year cycle. I have a feeling the next week or two it's going to be very active. So do things to care for your body. Maybe it's a good time for a cleanse, because we're going into this autumnal season. Lots of water, and to strengthen the fields, basically. And I feel like they're saying, for everybody to work on their auric fields, so strengthen the electromagneticness in their body, because the Earth's magnetic field is weakening, I think, on the order of about 10% every 10 years or so. So we can help to augment the Earth also. The Earth and us, we're not separate. Yeah, what happens on the Earth affects us, but what happens with us affects the Earth also. If you think about it, every cell in our body came from the Earth, so we're intimately connected with the Earth also, and there's an electrical field that we're connected to with the Earth, and vice versa. So if enough of us charge our own electrical field, it may help the Earth also. I mean, it's a natural phenomenon. Soon the poles are going to flip. Soon, I don't know what soon is. I've been hearing this for about 30 years now, but as things continue to weaken, that's eventually they flip. Now in the sun, the poles shift every 11 years, so it's getting ready to do that now, and that's when the sun gets more volatile. So what happens on the Earth? Things change when the poles shift. But we'll have the technology and the know-how in place that this time around we won't revert back to cave people. So that's the good news. But we'll be fine. And we have the extraterrestrials and the interdimensionals helping us also. So anyway, 3-card spread for the week. All right. So the show me dollar. So maybe, it is a good week to look into your investments, portfolios, or that. I got 4 cards this time. So we're doing a 4-card rather than a 3-card spread. So 3 is growth and expansion, but 4 is like think outside the box. It's the Uranus guided numerology of structure, form, and stuff like that. Let me see if I can actually fit 4 cards here. It's an interesting spread. I'm going to hold this at a little bit of a distance just so that this video doesn't get flagged for nudity, which is ridiculous. But with the star card in this deck, you can see the breast. But in any event, to me, just excuse me, just taking in the energy. A lot of us need an energetic reset, and backtracking August, according to the master teachers and channelings leading up to that time, peaking right around the Perseid season, which is mid-August. We've been going through collective quantum leap, which is basically a quantum leap of collective consciousness. And I feel like energetically that's happened, but the human systems, it's physical, and the physicality takes time to catch up with the energetic or the spiritual. So I think the bodies are adjusting to what's happened, basically. So quantum leap is one of those terms that can mean different things to different people, but in physics and chemistry, it's it's the electron that leaps into a higher orbital state or higher energetic state. So it happens, within a millionth of a second or a few millionths of a second in the atom. So it's said to leap, but it doesn't really leap. It phases out of physicality and rephases into a higher level is basically what happens. So it passes through the quantum field, or that realm that creates everything, according to my understanding of quantum physics and the how the electrons work in that. And then it arrives at the higher level. So in consciousness, and we're talking about more, our consciousness, our energy also. It's not like it's going to happen like that. It's a process that we've been in, but we arrive at a higher frequency of consciousness, and that means more energy. That means higher frequencies of energy going through us, and then the bodies have to adjust, and we have ascension symptoms, we have emotional things, and it's been incrementally going up anyways based on the frequency elevations we've been experiencing, and the strength of the frequencies affecting the planet and affecting our fields anyway. So this was kind of sort of like the midpoint. I think this quantum leap is, there's still going to be more incremental ascensions or energetic upgrades or frequency upgrades as we go on, probably for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And then I think we'll reach a point where it'll level off or plateau for a little while. But anyways, so what else? If stay optimistic. A lot's likely to be revealed. So we've been talking about this for a good while. A lot's already been revealed. What's that rapper's name? P. Diddy or so. We'll see what comes up with that. But that's kind of a topic I had left alone for a while. I think last summer and last spring, it was really hot on the topic of exposure of the human trafficking and everything. So this could be part of it. We'll see. And what I find really interesting, I've studied martial arts when I was younger. I still practice when I do my workouts. And I really adhered a lot to Bruce Lee's philosophies and his Jeet Kune Do, although the arts we were studying were Philippines. What I find interesting, my favorite martial arts movies, who's seen Enter the Dragon? Um, great martial arts movie. I think it's the best out there. Bruce Lee shined in that. Ironically, Enter the Dragon came out after Return of the Dragon. You think it was the other way around, but Return of the Dragon was before Enter the Dragon, I think. And then with Game of Death, and unfortunately he passed on while filming that. But the point being is that it takes place on an island, and the villain's name is Hans, I think, or Han. I don't remember, but basically it's like they have this tournament, this martial arts tournament every year, but the villain's really trying to recruit new help. And what do they do? There's human trafficking. There's a human slave market. They were all like on opium, and they came into one scene. They weren't children, but they were young people, all like stoned basically on this island. And I was like, wow, that was really prophetic. That movie came out, what, 1970 maybe, or a while back. And anyways, I just want to, anybody see Enter the Dragon? Enter the Dragon. You see, that's one of your favorites also. Yeah, it's a great martial arts movie. Bruce Lee had to slow down this technique so the camera could see it, which I find really fascinating. Also, all right, Michael, you love that movie too. Yeah. I've been thinking about that recently. It's like they go to this island, basically. It's like, hello. It's not like this is new. And I've told you guys it several times before. When I was growing up in the 60s, my parents were deathly afraid to leave the children alone in the city. I was lucky enough to have a beach home in Fire Island growing up too. Out there, the children ran. Nobody had a care in the world. I was 10 years old, and I went out swimming at sunset in the ocean and almost drowned in the rip current. I mean, the adults could have been maybe a little bit more watching the kids. But yeah, I thought I was going to die that night because I got sucked out by a rip current. Yeah. What's a 10-year-old doing swimming alone? Basically, no lifeguards. Anyway, that's the flip side, but I'm digressing a little bit. So let me get back to where we're here. So the Queen of Pentacles, slow moving money, things around money, the economy. But I like this Magician card. Good time for manifestation. We're at the new season. We're right at the world axis now in astrology, right at 0 degrees cardinal sign. In this case, Libra, and very kind of mixed energies here. But nothing that strikes me as being really, really horrible. I think that we're going to be very emotional, and I think I could see some of us kind of rekindling some old friendship, or giving somebody a second chance or something like that. We've been in a period where, as we're ascending, we're leaving a lot of people behind because not everybody's ascending or doing the spiritual work that we are, and it can create distance, and sometimes we can be brought down because people subconsciously will try to hold you back for several reasons. One is part of the programming, the fear-based programming. Subconscious programming is designed to hijack emotions such as fear, and cause certain beliefs and behaviors based on that. But also, people don't want to lose you. If you're ascending and they're not, they have a choice. They can work on themselves also, but most people are scared to do that. So instead of doing that, they try to hold on to you. It's not conscious, not them being mean or anything or negative. It's just that's how our psychology is. So it's not easy sometimes to break away from old friends, old patterns, and stuff like that. But this is a good time to look into these patterns because we're cusping out of the Virgo season, which relates to our health, like our routines and stuff. And then we're going to the Libra season, which is balance. So we're looking to find these routines in our personal balance, in our find balance in our personal routines. Hello. And this is a good time. This week is a good time to maybe look at your patterns, your daily routines, as it were, and upgrade them. Basically, something more spiritual. I may look into doing that the same. I have a very set thing I do in the mornings and the evenings, but honestly, to me, it's been getting a little bit stale. So it's almost like I feel like I need to try something new or adjust it somewhat. So I think that's true for a lot of us. And don't worry so much about money. I see it both ends. The pentacles can represent money. They're reversed. It's kind of let go. Wealth is energy. Money is the physical counterpart to the spiritual concept of abundance. Everything exists in abundance, but we're programmed to fear lack of money. I mean, there's a tangible reason for that. No money, no food. No money, no clothes. No money, no home. So we get that part of it also. But at the same time, if you understand it's energy and everything's fluid, there's a fluidity to it and to things. And if you understand the concept of abundance and the wealth frequency, we become wealthy when we firstly feel that abundance from within, and when we do things to honor ourselves, to honor our energy, our spiritual wealth, that are right for us and right for the world. We become more magnetic to money anyway. So the idea is, and I know a lot of us can relate. I've had several times where I was just no money, don't have my rent, don't have this. How's it going to come? And it always comes, right? So if you're able to let things go, what can happen? You may get this great idea, like um communication or transmission from your higher self or your guides, then maybe the worry about money's been blocking it or severing that. All of a sudden, they may be able to communicate with you, and you may get this great idea of something you can do to attract more money into your life. The thing is, this is the think outside the box time. It's the Pluto's going to go back into Aquarius in November. We're going to the Aquarian age. There's not infinite, but virtually infinite ways of making money. There's virtually unlimited money out there. It's printed, it's conceived or added digitally on a computer. It's just a human system of spiritual wealth. So the point being is we've got to learn to think outside the box. There's so many ways to attract income, ways that most people wouldn't even think of. And as everything keeps changing in the world, new opportunities open up. A lot of people are concerned about AI taking over jobs. Well, that's going to happen, but new jobs are going to come in its place. And I think the new, not the new economy, but the new society is going to have a lot of people doing their own work, having their own um, business, as it were, and then more being commissioned by companies or their services being commissioned. I mean, I think the whole not today or not even this year, but I think over the next 20 or 30 years, it's all going to kind of move in that direction. So I want to take a short break to just see what you guys are saying here. So let's see, because there's a lot of long comments. Just thinking about health a lot lately. Okay. Trust. Thank you, Mr. Floyd. Josh. So this is, I think, a confirmation has happened, but I think she came around. Okay. Christine saying, and I feel that so much. I'm in a big transit. A lot of us are. So I've spent the last several years with never having enough money for bills, and I just accepted a new position, which is a huge good for you. Congratulations. So there you have. That's a good example. Yeah, sorry to hear about friendship struggles. Yes, and Millie saying that she likes the Page of Wands. And oh, that was our meditation. Oh, our meditation card, right? Friendships. And new beginning comes from, is that's a song, right? Every new beginning come from another. I forgot what song that is, but I know that that's a song, and you even put the notes on it. And then there's an old Jethro Tull song from Stand Up called "The New Day Yesterday," and the lyric is, "It was a new day yesterday, but it's an old day now." And I just love that early Jethro Tull, one of my all-time favorites. Favorite band, pure ear candy. When I flip on Tull, that's pure ear candy to me. All right, we have other divination tools. Let's do our Native American card. Beginnings and yeah. Oh, you quit cigarettes, Christina. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, you know that song, "New Day Yesterday." Yeah. So what is that line from? Every new beginning comes from. I know that line. I just can't place the song. It's gonna drive me nuts. I can always look it up. But anyway, there was a new day yesterday. There's an old day now. um, yeah, I could go on and on about Jethro Tull. Everything up to too old to rock and roll. I can't keep track of the order of their albums. Everything up to Heavy Horses, I think, was pretty much not 90 to 100% brilliant. Closing Time. Oh, that song, Closing Time. Yeah, I forgot who did that one, but I know that song. Yeah. That wasn't the Jayhawks, but it's one of those types of bands that did it. It wasn't Kings of Leon, but it's that era. Okay. So here we go. This one is the one that I grabbed. Oh, there's a spider. I like the spider. The star. So another version of the star card. We've gotten that twice. The star card is hope. It's inspiration. I think they're trying to bring this back to say that one aspect, because star can also be about the stars, the extraterrestrials. Basically, I think. Well, I know that contacts are increasing, and I think it's going to happen exponentially. And a lot of you are getting contacted more telepathically. And I've been into ETs and the UFOs when I was a kid. Basically, Star Trek, Lost in Space. Those are two of my favorite shows. And and then in college, I had my first UFO experience, and I feel like they've been with me all along, but it's only in the last maybe half dozen years or so that I've been really aware of them. And every now and then I'll see the beings in my mind, and I'll get the messages. So I think that's another message for us is all you have to do is open your heart, feel gratitude, appreciation, and love. If you can hold that, then the brain and the heart blend, and then you blend with spirit. That's called heart brain coherence. And once you're able to do that, then you're more open to the telepathic communication from higher beings. So trust that. A lot of people are channeling. Several of you were at the retreat in August. How are you guys doing? I know I don't think Chris is in, but he started doing crystal balls on YouTube. I'm just seeing a lot of you upgrading your spiritual skills. Laura doing the readings now on Mr. Floyd's channel. So we had a big initiation on the weekend of August 2nd to the 4th here in the Catskills. Aligned initiation. Yeah, and Sekhmet was governing that or guiding that. Grant someone to watch it. The Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, I love spiders. Also, spiders are the life weavers. They weave their webs. What are we weaving into our lives? Yeah, we're but a thread in the vast web of life or consciousness, basically. So we're each one thread in that web of eternity, basically. So what are we weaving to that web? It may seem insignificant, but it does affect the whole web. What we think, feel, do, act, and teach, and all that affects the collective. So don't underestimate your power and your worth, basically. Another toll fan, yeah. Well, yeah. Although I've never seen Tull. Well, actually, they're coming to where are they coming to? Bethel Woods, yeah, with the old Woodstock site. I think in November. I don't know if they're going to need walkers to get on the stage, but they are going to be playing in November. Maybe I'll try to see them if I can get over my aversion of being around crowds for a minute. I mean, back in the day, I used to see the Dead shows. I mean, it's not like and other concerts. But anyways, yeah, Jethro Tull's coming to Bethel Woods. All right. Let's see what else. Moonology. We're at we just finished the first of two eclipses. So we just finished the full moon. We're in the gibbous waning moon right now, I believe, is the phase that we're in. Where is the moon? Is it in Taurus now? I don't even know what sign the moon's in. Like I said, if you guys missed it earlier, that I basically rolled in around midnight after doing 4 hours of mediumship work and a 2-hour drive. So I don't have my shit together as much as usual. Although on a Sunday morning, that's not unusual. All right, never mind. Clearing my mind. Here we go. So it's a gift from Millie, so we thank you for that. And we got a full moon eclipse. We just had a full moon eclipse, so that's cool that we pulled that card. Conclusions are within reach. So we just had a full moon eclipse. What was it? Monday or Tuesday was it? Yeah, like they're still playing. I was surprised to hear that. Yeah, that they're still playing. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of half joking. I mean, they're probably mid 70s. I would imagine. I mean, I'm 66, and so they're not that old. uh, Spiders eat mosquitoes. That's very apt, Judy. Yes, they do. Moon is in Gemini, so it's out of Taurus and in Gemini. So conclusions are within reach. So we had our full moon eclipse, and in about 10 days or so, we have our new moon solar eclipse coming up. We're not going to see it here. I think, where is that? Visible in Alaska or I mean, but it's not visible here, but the effects are definitely here. But anyway, so I think that's a good message. Conclusions are within reach. So for a lot of you that have had things that have been hanging up in the air, I know a lot of people have like legal cases or work situations or things that are just slow to conclude or to move forward. You open your heart and put the prayers and see it moving through conclusion. The lunar cycle is with you now, and you can expect that too. Yeah, the card's also pretty. Yeah, and then it wasn't too unlike like the eclipse that we had. Only it was only like the top part of the moon that there was eclipse in this last one. It was like the northern edge of the moon. It was in the shadow. Most of the moon was light, so it was a partial eclipse. Anyway, moving right along. Oh yeah, I do have Isis Oracle with me. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so let me see. This one. This is the one they want me to pull. And the one that I got says Divine Sunchild, Blessings of the Sun Falcon. So that's the card. This is a solar holiday in a way. It's kind of marking the again, it's that balance, equal day and equal light. So the sun is basically overhead right on the equator today. Isis, yes, that's a gift from Mr. Floyd, from Josh. So thank you for that also. And blessings of the sun falcon. So falcons are interesting. They're basically they have amazing eyesight, so they see everything. They're birds of prey, also very very powerful energy, powerful totem, basically. And as I'm talking about, I feel like I'm saying this is really a time of magic. This is a time we can be both in the light and the dark, and we can set our intentions into the void or the dark for it to manifest back into the light. So the next few days, what is it that you desire? Maybe even light a candle, bring the energy of the sun into your bedroom or your altar by lighting a candle, and do your prayers, and in the flame visualize what you desire manifesting. If it's a financial thing, that you're basically buying tons of gold, even though it's at the highest value it's ever been, or you're hugging your soulmate or whatever it is that you desire in your life at this time. Yeah, thanks, Millie. I appreciate that. So our frequency of the weeks. This is the sacred geometry card. So this would be what frequency or vibration is appropriate to work on this week. Yeah, that was the name of the card. The deck that we just did. Yeah. And the one, well, and then it was the Isis Oracle deck was the last one that I used. And this is called the Sacred Geometry. I don't have the box handy. Either the Sacred Geometry card or Sacred Geometry. Oh, wait, I do. Sacred Geometry activation cards. Okay. And here's some more meaning of that card. The card means to allow your life to flourish without limits. I like that meaning. Let's do that. Lives are flourishing. There are no limits. The only limitations are right here, basically. So, remember that. We've gotten this card many times. Coherence, key 13. 13's transformation and change. Numerology. It's a version of 4 that's very, very powerful also. And the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart and the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. So we talk a lot about heart-brain coherence here. I think it's a breakthrough practice. I think as it catches on, it's going to be very, very big in this new awakening movement. Now, What's heart-brain coherence? It's simply that you bring your heart into coherence by holding magnified gratitude, compassion. That's what hearts want to do. They want to love. But the heart and the brain really are connected. They're two parts of the same system. The heart's more powerful, so it's the generator, and the brain's the transmitter and receiver of the information of the heart. So we feel with the heart, we think with the brain. And if you're able to blend that, then you're able to be holistic. You're not dualistic anymore. This is the equinox, the balance of light and dark, the balance of heart and brain. So when you achieve that, you achieve balance with spirit also, or opening to spirit as well. So I have videos on the channel. Maybe if I think of it when I end, I'll add the playlist, the heart brain playlist that we have on the channel, on the pinned comment to this video. And like I said, it worked. Yeah, people heal from that. It also is based on empirical data. According to Joe Dispenza, it raises your immunoglobulin, your gamma globulin A's by a factor of 50% if you do the practice 10 minutes at a time. 3 times a day is recommended, 2 or 3 times a day. I don't know how long it takes, but I think it's really just a matter of days or weeks. And there's a rise in your immunoglobulins. And he calls it nature's flu shot. So those of you that aren't warm on vaccines, but still want a little bit of extra protection for your immune system, do the practice. It's proven to help with that. Yeah, we love Dr. Joe around here, don't we? Yeah. So Dr. Joe and Greg Braden talk a lot about this. Probably Bruce Lipton too, the Three Amigos, though I don't know Bruce Lipton's work as much as the other two. And it was conceptualized through Heart Math Institute when they discovered that the heart's the largest electromagnetic generator, and then they discovered there's actually a form of brain cells in the heart, and they found the connection between the two. So your heart and your brain are really two parts of the same whole. So it's the equinox. It's time to blend the opposites. And when you blend polar opposites, you get oneness, you get wholeness. So it's that still point between light and dark, between summer and winter. It's that still point, that medium point, basically. The 0 point, or shunya, as it's called in yoga, in Sanskrit, the shunya. And once you reach that point, then you open up to the greater part of the universe, basically. Oh, good one to binge watch. Yes, very good. All right, so we have Kyle Gray somewhere. Here's Kyle Gray, and his which deck is this? I think it's which one of Kyle's decks do I have? Oh gosh, looking for the box. Right now, I'm being reminded that I need to clean the space. Here we go. Angels and Ancestors deck. Masculine and feminine, absolutely, yeah. Oh, thank you. There's a lot of great work on quantum physics. Yeah, I read the book The Tao of Physics in the 1970s by Fridtjof Capri. Is that his name? I can't remember. It opened my eyes big time. I was a meteorology student. I mentioned that in the beginning of this live stream. So I was into science to begin with, and I was also a martial artist and studying more the philosophical aspects of martial arts. And I had a required reading list besides the Tao Jeet Kune Do, the Carlos Castaneda books. It was the 70s. I still love Carlos Castaneda, but the Tao of Physics was on the list, and basically he believes that quantum physics is the ticket to proving what the ancient masters have told us all along about spirituality. Once we can look inside the atom and get more detail, we see a model of the universe at a whole different, the micro versus the macro. So something that will happen inside of an atom in a thousandth of a second may take millions of years to happen in the universe, but it's the exact same process, the exact same thing is happening. So you understand the microcosm, you understand the macrocosm, because they're one and the same. Who knows? We may all be atoms in somebody else's body. Who knows? What the reality really is. Always count your blessings. Yes. Every day, that's part of heart-brain coherence, feeling grateful, basically. Count your blessings every day, yeah. All right, so clearing mind. My ears are buzzing. So spirit's really active today. So we got Earth Mother. Oh, I love this. What bounty. Feel loved and comforted. And what I'm noticing is the crescent moon in her third eye. That's what got my attention, as well as all the green, basically. Nature is a great way to connect with the cosmos, obviously, because everything came from the cosmos. Like I was saying before, every cell of our body comes from the earth. Well, where did the earth come from? The stars, from the cosmos. So we're all connected. We all have what's called the God code, if you want to call it that. It's certain I forgot what that is, but it's certain harmonics of the different molecules within the cells. That's expressed through the solfeggio frequency. So that's one reason that music's so important, because when we're engaged in music, we activate our spiritual natures, as it were. And yeah, this is just beautiful. I don't know what else to say. This is just a beautiful card. Understand that our Mother Earth is here to nurture us and protect us, basically. This may also be a sign that some of us, while we're in the in-betweens and we're going into the dark time of the year, many of us need to work on our mother woundings from growing up. A lot of us had issues with mom. I mean, me included. 2021 and 2022, I uncovered a lot. My mom was great, so just to put that out there. Love mom. No, nothing but she had her issues. She was programmed by her parents. That goes on. There's a definite, we'll just say a lack of nurturance. I'll put it that way. So I was able to go in and work through those shadows, integrate the shadows into the light. So it's a good time for shadow work during this balance, because you don't lose the shadows. That's part of who you are. You integrate them into the light. Shadows are only a problem when they're hidden. That's why they're shadows. So shine a flashlight on a shadow. The shadow disappears. It gets integrated into the light. So shine your light of awareness onto those parts of the subconscious that are hidden, usually suppressed pains and traumas, and we are wired to have an adversity to pain and suppress pain, so we suppress these traumas. It's just how our survival instinct works, basically. But they go within, they don't go anywhere. There's still a vibration and energy within us, and that vibration attracts things in the outer world to match it. So we have these patterns in our lives, and that you can start to end those patterns by reintegrating those shadows into the light, and then they become a point of power, not a point of resistance or a point of detriment. So anyways, that's what this card's trying to tell me, I believe. But yes, but she's a beautiful one, Mother Earth personified, thanks to the brilliant mind of Kyle Gray. We're going to move on to the next on the list. What do we have next? I think we're winding down. Well, I'm not. I'm going back to the medicine cards. It's for our animal totem of the week. Oh, we're already an hour, so we are winding down. We're late. Release the stale energy. Thank you, Teresa. And welcome. Thanks for joining us. Oh, yeah, I love falcons too. Yeah. One of my totems is not a falcon, but the hawk. And I think falcon is a type of hawk, or they're very related. So that works with me also. Yeah. You're saying we are right on time. So we got the ant. What are the ants? Builders, community, right? Ants are very community beings. So it's time to build our community. You're saying there's a split that's been happening. I think it's stepping up. So know our community. We have a community here that extends into Mr. Floyd's channel, into Josh's channel, and Millie's channel, and all of us that are here, that are part of this. We have our own communities, and we're all part of a greater community, which is part of a greater community, which is part of a world community, which is part of a interplanetary community. So now in the book it says anticipation. So that's the word here. And they say that an ant can carry a leaf over hundreds of miles just to get it back to the anthill. That's pretty amazing. What ants travel 100 miles? That's scary. But anyway, ants in Africa will strip a forest bare when food is scarce if it takes them a year. So basically, have patience. Maybe a lot of you set your intentions. Things are lagging a little bit behind. Slow and steady wins the race. You're strong. Like ants can carry 3 to 10 times their weight on their back. So you're strong. You can handle a lot. You've dealt with a lot. But this is a time of shift. You don't have to struggle anymore. You can start to, again, balance and harmonize the heart and the brain in order to clear the whole, not necessarily clear, but transcend the whole idea of like hard work. I've got to change matter through applying matter, working harder to get what I want. But in reality, if you're able to match your frequency, what you desire, it's going to come to you, and then you're going to know through spirit what you need to do on the earth level to make that happen. But that's why it's law of attraction. It's like, I hear a lot of the gurus like, well, you have to act to attract. And to me, that's just the grist for the mill. The gift is being able to match your frequency and have that be attracted to you, basically. And like I said, the earthly action becomes known through that process, as far as I'm concerned. But in any regards, so and it's powerful. And again, it's still, in my mind, it's still about community, because they all work together. And that's what we need to do. We need to all work together. We all have our own gifts, right? My gifts are different than your gifts, but we can pool them together, and we can benefit from each other, and we can help each other survive and to grow during these times of great change, basically. So last thing on the agenda, I've got the angel therapy cards today. I think I used these the last couple of weeks also. So tonight at 7, mediumship on the medium channel. So I'll just, for about an hour or so, I'll just get the spirits to come through. I'll put the messages out and give you your messages. So that's live. If you happen to catch it in a video, your loved ones can still come through, because they'll know that you're going to come in later on. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is, just happened to be my birthday. So I'm going to give you guys a little gift and do some energy channeling to help to create a peace wave around the planet. So we'll work together to create this wave of peace that's going to uplift the energies and uplift humanity and reach those in power to try to, get through this without too much struggle and heartache and bloodshed and all of that stuff. So 10 a.m. and then at 10:30 or 10:33, you can jump onto Mr. Floyd's, I can't remember the new name, Mr. Floyd's Universe channel, to do some more channeling work, through him also. Thank you, Laura. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, that's Good Dawning. That's what's the name of it. Tuesday's Dawning. So he does that, I think, except Sundays. I think you do that every day, right? I'm usually working, so I usually miss it myself. But every now and then I'll surprise you guys and pop in. All right. So last on the agenda is we got cut your cord. So that's like the final message. So this is the time. I mean, cord cutting is a good idea at any time, But this is like the big shift. It's happening now. The quantum leap is happening now. And this equinox is really allowing those energies to set now, because we come to that point of perfect balance, that oneness, that stillness, where there's no opposites. Everything's in perfect balance for a moment. And what it says is, ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. So that's a nice message to end with. And I always call on Archangel Michael or Michael for various reasons. So Tuesday Night Live with Chris at 7 East Coast. Okay, so Chris, who does the singing bowls, and he was at the retreat also. So he's a lot of people are really coming to their power. And Mr. Floyd, Josh, even though you weren't physically there, you were there. I'll put it to you that way. You were there also. So anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. So we'll see some of you at 7. Thank you again. So I'm trying to think of uploads. Well, we have the fall 2024 forecast that's up on the channel. I did an equinox, 3 things to know about today. That's an upload that's up on the channel also. I guess that's about it. We're doing a mediumship and channeling retreat, October 18th through the 20th in the Catskill Mountains. So anybody that wants to upgrade their mediumship and channeling skills, we're going to have a fun intensive that weekend for that. All right. Bless you, family. Love you so much. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you in a few hours. Have a great Sunday.